I understand your dilemma. And having said that, it's like our world sucks so much. But having said that, and it's like it seems as though your boyfriend is holding on to those pictures to eventually do something. I don't want to go there, but it does seem like that is a reason. Why would he just not delete the pictures? Maybe he feels hurt about the breakup because you did say you're the one who initiated the breakup. Hello and welcome to Kitchen Table Advice. My name is Paula and I am the host of this podcast. This podcast is a place where you can ask for any advice you want. It can be relationship, both platonic or romantic, career advice, or life advice. I wanted to create a space where people could ask questions without fear of rejection. I can't guarantee it'll be good advice, but I can guarantee there'll be no shame on my end. Your name will be anonymous and your identity will always be kept a secret. This is not professional advice, and I am not a licensed therapist or psychologist, and you are under no obligation to take this advice. Just think of this as advice you would get from a close friend on a kitchen table. So, let's begin. Hello, my wonderful gems. How are you? I hope you're doing amazing. And as you just heard, we changed our intro. We felt it was needed. If you're a returning gem, thank you so much for always listening. And if you're new here, please feel free to suss out the vibe, subscribe if you like what you're hearing or if you're learning something new. And as usual, we just dive into the first story of our episode. And the title of this first story is it's like, I think a lot of you are going to connect with this, or at least I hope you do. Anyways, based on the title. The title of the first story is, my boyfriend told me he will break up with me in 2 weeks. That's so odd. I need to know why. So I'm a 24-year-old woman and I'm writing about my current relationship with my boyfriend, a 28-year-old man. He told me he plans on breaking up if my parents don't start accepting him. They've known of him for a couple of months now. When he told me some days ago that he gives me 2 weeks, I was kind of shocked. And I haven't stopped crying since, as I don't know if I can meet that deadline. Your boyfriend is a creep. And let's just continue. He told me initially that when I tell my parents about him, he will not leave me ever. Now, only after 2 months, he doesn't want to do it anymore. Now I need some logical advice. I moved across the country to be with him and have had 2 crappy jobs by now, although I have a great degree. But somehow the area here doesn't offer great jobs. I live in a condo where the lease will end in the summer. Maybe I can renew it, but finding an apartment here is difficult and expensive. I have no friends, and I mean it. Not even people I talk to casually, just him. I will only talk to him for a long time. My family is not very supportive and they have kind of destroyed my mental health. What is the best thing to do if he breaks up? It will mess me up, but I need serious advice on how to move through that mess. What? Okay, so that was kind of short, so we're just going to jump in your advice. I think your boyfriend is a piece of work because I think your boyfriend is a crappy person. Yeah. I'm just gonna come out and say it. So he's giving you a deadline if your parents don't accept him. What the heck does that have to do with you? Like, and trust me, I understand. I understand that as a partner, you want the parents of your partner to accept you, but your main relationship is with your partner, not their parents. Does he really need validation so much that he's willing to throw away your relationship? It's who are y'all dealing with out here? This is insane. If your partner is giving you a deadline because your parents won't accept them, I don't know. There is a character flaw with them. Whether this is a man or a woman, there is a character flaw. So he's willing to break up your connection. Oh, I'm so sorry. You did not tell me how long you were dating. I just know, okay. So you guys have been dating for, I don't know how long, but you just recently introduced him to your parents a couple of months, and maybe they weren't enthusiastic about it because They just don't know him. Some people are not going to be cheerful when their daughter or son brings them a potential mate or partner. Some people are just like that. It's just in their nature. They need to spend time with you and they need to get to know you to finally start opening up. But in the beginning, they're just not going to be, oh, yay, great, you're this person. No, they need to evaluate who you are, what your intentions are for their daughter or their son before welcoming you into the family. Before welcoming you into the family, there's something wrong with that. It's just their personality. So, and it's been 2 months since your parents. Did your parents say something? I don't know. Like this behavior is just, it's so childish, and it's like, do yourself a favor, break up with him before he breaks up with you. Maybe it's just my petty side coming out, but what the heck? He gave you an ultimatum because your parents won't accept him. I mean, maybe they have a good reason to not accept him. He's willing to give you an ultimatum. That's weird. What the heck is up with that? And I know I've mentioned this a couple of times here, but I'm going to mention this again. Please don't move across state lines for your partner. I know you love them. You want to be with them. You feel heard when you're with them, or they're your safe place, or what, or anything. I don't want to downplay that, but don't move across state line for a partner. It's just, don't move across state line for a partner. I actually do not think it's a good idea. I don't think it's a good idea. I know a lot of people do it, but I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think so. But yeah, that's what I'm going to say on that. Especially because it's like, it's different moving to a place because you want to, and then moving to a place because you feel like you have to. And the feeling of moving somewhere because you feel like you have to tend to sow resentment in the relationship. Someone is going to resent you, whether it's the guy or the girl, whoever's doing the moving to quote unquote stay in a relationship. Someone is going to resent the other person. And in this moment, you feel like you don't have your own community. You have no friends in this new place with your boyfriend. He's the only one you talk to. Even casual people you barely have. And now he's giving you this ultimatum. It's reading a lot. It's reading. Okay, at the end of the day, you have free will. You moved here because this was someone you love. But from an outsider looking in, it's reading, manipulator, pulled you away from your family, and now you're stuck here. He's the only one you have to talk to. I'm not saying that's what's happening in this relationship. I'm just saying that's what is coming across. And another thing, given the age difference, it's a 4-year age gap. It's not that big of a deal. You're 24, he's 28. I don't know. It's like, it's an age gap that's not, it's not gonna pull eyebrows, but it's like, when did you guys start dating? I would like to know that. How long have you been dating? Is this a recent relationship? If you met when he was 20, if you just met and you were 24 and he was 28, I think that's fine. But if you met like when you were 22 and he was 26, it's still the same age gap, but a 26-year-old brain is definitely different than a 22-year-old brain. And it's just like, I don't know. I have a bit of reservation about that because I don't know how long you guys have been in a relationship. So let's hope it's recent. If it's recent, then sure. Then my worries are completely groundless. But yeah, it's just, you did mention your family is not supportive and they'll destroy your mental health. What about your partner? How is your partner treating you? Because it seems as though I feel like I need more information to even give my advice. When did you meet? How long have you been dating? And is it just something that is recent and now he's giving you an ultimatum? That is a huge red flag. Honestly, my advice still stands. I feel like this guy is a walking red flag. He needs attention and validation constantly. Yes, constantly. I took a pause there because I was like, is it constant? It seems as though it's constant. He needs attention, validation constantly. And this is not the type of person you want to be around. And I understand you moved across state lines to be with your partner, to be with the love of your life. But it's reading selfishness, it's reading entitlement. I don't know why he wants to break the connection because your parents won't accept him. Obviously, his relationship with your parents is different than your relationship with him. If he cares about your relationship with him, if he cares about the relationship with, if he cares about you and you guys' relationship together as a couple, then he should talk to you about his reservation or why he feels like he needs acceptance from your parents. I don't know. It's a lot. I feel like there's not enough in the text, but in the same breath, I feel like maybe it's just me being pessimistic, but I feel like there's something else that you left out when you wrote this in. Yeah. Yeah, well, that is a weird note to end an advice on, but that's where we're going to end it. We're going to take our break right now, and then we'll come back with the second story of the episode. All right, so we are back with the second story. It seems like this episode is just going to be about crappy boyfriends. But the title of the second story is My Ex is Manipulating Me and It Could Ruin My Career. Well, that's always fun. Anyways, let's jump in. Hi, I'm 19 years old. I'm a 19-year-old girl and I need some advice on some events that have happened to me recently. So I'm a woman in an extremely male-dominated field. About a month ago, I broke up with my ex, a 21-year-old man, who also worked at the same place as me. Parentheses, I was young and stupid when I decided to date him. The day after we broke up, I went through our messages and deleted all nude images of either of us that I could. However, he had to do this as well, as there were images that our chat wouldn't allow me to delete. I explained to him calmly that I needed to delete them. I explained to him calmly that he needed to delete them when he gets a chance and how important it is for me. Parentheses, if these messages were released, it could ruin my life and career. He said he would get to it eventually. And I let it go. A few weeks later, I reminded him again to delete them, and once again, I was brushed off. Last night, I blew up. It has been over a month since we broke up. Okay. It has been over a month since we broke up, and these images are still in the chat. His reason for not deleting them, I don't have / want to spend 45 minutes going through 3 years worth of messages. I was livid and told him that if it wasn't done by the end of that night, I would clear the chat and block him. He then threatened to talk badly about me to all my coworkers. In a normal setting, this could be overlooked, but in my line of work, people talk a lot, and image matters at all times. I mean, in most jobs, people talk. I don't know, they're so bored. But anyways, let's go. So now I'm afraid that if I do anything, he's going to start lying about me and start rumors. Below, I'll put some other background info that isn't absolutely necessary, but may shed some light on how much my coworkers talk. Thank you for reading, and I'm looking forward to your advice. Oh, okay. So background info. So before me and my ex broke up, I went through a very hard time where I was being sexually harassed by my coworkers. I brought this up to the administration, and it turned out you had no sexual harassment or discrimination policy in place. Whoa. This began 5 months of my coworkers avoiding me and learning opportunities being withheld from me. Eventually, I helped put in place a SH and harassment policy for my place of work. There were people who weren't happy with this and still dislike / avoid me to this day, when before we were very close. Ooh, okay. Thank you so much for that added background. Because I was about to say, people at work usually just talk. They don't have anything better to do with their lives. So they just talk about stuff that does not concern them. But now that you added that, it makes sense. Okay. So I'm getting the picture now. You're in a male dominated field, and as much as we as women do not like it, some men do see us as property and objects for their desires. It is unfortunate, but I always want to remind you guys that regardless of how other people see you, it's how you see yourself. So it really doesn't matter how they see you. And I really want to commend you for standing up to whoever was making all these, like, truly thank you so much for your courage and standing up, and not only standing up but putting in place sexual harassment policies and discrimination policies for your place of work. Like, thank you so much for doing that, and you're 19, so kudos to you. I really do. I truly commend you. I understand your dilemma. And having said that, it's like our world sucks so much, but having said that, and it's like it seems as though your boyfriend is holding on to those pictures to eventually do something. I don't want to go there, but it does seem like that is a reason. Why would he just not delete the pictures? Maybe he feels hurt about the breakup, because you did say you're the one who initiated the breakup. And I don't know if he's trying to use that as revenge, especially given that it seems as though, especially given the fact that you stood up against harassment. Because listen, harassers, perverts, creeps, they don't like that. Oh, they do not like that at all. But I always want to commend women who are willing to stand against such people. Because unfortunately, some women don't know how to go about it. And the women who are courageous need to be able to do it. So really, truly thank you for not only doing that, but also implementing a policy to now when we go forward, these are the rules we need to abide by. So thank you so much for doing that. And yeah, it does seem like your boyfriend's a bit bitter. He's a bit salty about the breakup. And it seems as though I don't know why he's holding on to the pictures. He has no reason to be holding on to the pictures. I completely understand why you would even give those pictures, because this is a person you trusted. You will feel comfortable around them. You feel comfortable in your body around them, and you're in a relationship with them. Completely understandable. But why is he still holding on to the picture? That's weird. Especially when you told him calmly in the beginning, you explained it to him. He just keeps dismissing you. And it's going back to the previous thing of some men just think women are their objects. And when we tell them no, we stand up for ourselves. Apparently it's a problem for them, and they see you as you attacking them when it's literally you protecting yourself. But my advice would be this. I don't know if this will be a good place for you. Honestly, if I was in your position, I would start looking for another job. I would. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The fact that your boyfriend is being shady and shisty, and not only that, he told you he was going to start bad mouthing you to your coworkers. I don't know if he's already done it, but it's like, if that's a threat to him, that's like, when people give you a threat, that means it's something they've already thought about. They may have thought about how to go about it. Like, you don't just, this is a weird example, but you don't just threaten someone with something like, I don't want to use firearms, but something like, oh, I'm going to poison you if you don't know how to find the poison and put it in the drinks. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. But it's like, that threat is just so weird. He's already thinking about how he can ruin your reputation, ruin your standing in the workplace, especially given the fact that some people already do not like you because you stood up for yourself. Again, you standing up for yourself, they're perceiving that as you attacking them, even though they're the ones being creeps. They don't like the fact that you're standing up for yourself. They don't like the fact that you're having a voice. Some people just like vulnerable people they can abuse and use and go by their day. It's unfortunate, but that's the world we live in. So I really want to commend you for standing up for yourself. And the fact that your boyfriend is trying to weaponize you, trying to protect yourself as he's trying to weaponize that, you trying to protect yourself as a means to ruin your reputation is just purely disgusting. Thank you so much for breaking up with him. Oh my gosh, you dodged the bullet right there. And now I don't know if this kind of setting will be good for you, especially the fact that they're trying to withhold learning opportunities for you. They might try to withhold promotions from you. They might try to do all these other stuff. Just learn what you can in your place of work. And to be honest, there's nothing wrong with you leaving your career. You're 19. There are lots of jobs open right now and available. I don't know if they're available in your field, but right now, make a plan as though, because he gave you this threat. And I'm in a frame of mind that if someone is going to threaten me with something, they've already thought of ways of doing it. They've already thought of a plan on how to act on this. So I need to act to protect myself, which is why I'm giving you an advice based on the fact that he's dangling this thing in front of you because he basically wants you to do what he wants. But we're not going to do that. Okay? We're not women who listen to other people and who don't listen to our own intuition. We listen to our own intuition, we listen to our thoughts, we listen to our logic, and we act based on that. We always try to shield ourselves with boundaries or just flat out going no contact with people who do not serve us. And we go through life on our own terms, always on our own terms. Now, it seems as though, so now that your boyfriend has given you this threat, I'm taking it as he's just waiting for the right time and the right opportunity to basically ruin your life, as you have said it, and ruin your career. So what do you need to do? Right now, don't be afraid to make a plan on how to shield yourself from this. And it's really unfortunate that you were so vulnerable and open with this person that you thought you loved. And now that the relationship didn't pan out, they're being salty and being in the feelings and overly emotional just because the relationship didn't pan out. Anyways, it's like, so my advice from you right now is to just plan as if he is planning to ruin your life. Don't passively sit by and hope that maybe he's not going to do this, maybe he's not. Listen, we take threats very seriously, especially from disgruntled exes. No. No. Okay? A threat from a disgruntled ex is the worst thing ever. All right? So plan as if he's going to do it. So try to shield yourself. What can you do at this point in time? Do you need to completely leave this workplace? Or is this some place that you always wanted to work out? It's like, I just want to ask you, I know you said some people some people at work don't talk to you because you decide to stand up for yourself once again. Who has your back at work right now? And who can you really lean on as an ally? Try to find your allies at work. And if that does not work, I'm really going to tell you, try to look for another job, still within the same field, but just like, if you need to move down the street, move down the street, okay? Because we don't do toxic environments. Toxic environments are so stressful and they really stifle your growth and just put people in a depressed state where it's just bad overall. So my question for you is, if you're in a similar situation as this girl where your ex is just acting weird, they haven't done anything yet, but they're giving you threats, go through life as if they are going to do it. Don't try to dismiss it as if, oh, there's no way they would do it. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. Especially when you are the one who initiated the breakup and they may have thought everything was okay, even though you probably voiced your opinion that something was not okay, but people try to pretend like your opinion doesn't matter, just like he tried to brush her off. I'm pretty sure this isn't the first time he tried to brush her off, okay? Am I kind of filling in the gaps here because she hasn't said so? Yes, but I don't think this is the first time he tried to brush her off. So I will go through this as if he is going to act on the threat and do what is best to protect yourself. If it means moving to another job, still in the same field, do that. If it means gathering allies at your place of work, even though some people have turned their backs around you, do that. It's just like, try to find what can you do at this time, or given the fact that your boyfriend has tarnished your relationship, has tarnished your reputation. If you wake up one day and everyone in the office is calling you all types of slurs or doing basically just acting as if you're this horrible person, what are the stuff you can put in place to help yourself, help you yourself physically first, help yourself mentally, and then help yourself psychologically. If you need to physically remove yourself from that environment, remove yourself. If you think physically you can deal with it, but mentally it might not be sustainable for a long amount of time, find yourself allies and find yourself people you can confide in, who are understanding, who understand what you're going through, who understand the ins and outs. Don't try to tell them too much about your relationship, because people talk a lot, okay? And in your male dominated field, I can imagine that they talk more amongst themselves and try to leave you out of the loop, just try to like excommunicate you, which I get. But if you can find one or two allies who are really going to have your back, who are going to put your name in when a promotion comes in, please do that. And psychologically, it's just about just keep good energy around you. Keep good energy around you. Don't try to let this get to you. And if you need therapy, by all means, go get a therapist that you can talk to, someone that you trust, and someone that you trust and you can open to. But yeah, that is it. But I would not be blaming you if you decide to just leave that job, because your ex is acting all types of shiesty right now. It's not good. It is not good. Oh gosh. Well, that was it for this episode. I hope you learned something. Please let me know if you learned something, because or let me know if you have a different advice, especially for the second one. The first one, I honestly think he's a bad person. For the first story, I really think he's a bad person. Who the heck gives their partner an ultimatum because their parent won't accept them? Like, huh? What is that? But for the second one, if you have any other advice that you want to give her, please let me know. But it's just like, I know it's very important. For me, it's like your peace and your mental health, psychological and physical health are all at the forefront. And if anything is going to try to attack that, or if anything is going to try to stand in the way of you getting the best health physically, mentally, or psychologically that you can get, then that thing needs to be completely cut out of your life. We're not asking any question. Get out. It's just, if you have any other advice on how she can navigate her workplace given all these stuff, then please let me know. And thank you so much for listening to this episode. If I haven't said this again, if you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, then please leave us a review, preferably a 5-star review. And if you're watching this on YouTube, then please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And lastly, we get most of our stories on our Gmail account, which is kitchentableadvice@gmail.com. So if you have any story you would like us to give you our advice on, then send us a quick email on our Gmail, which is kitchentableadvice@gmail.com. That's where we get our stories as well as business inquiries. But thank you so much for listening to this, and we'll see you next Sunday. Bye.